Well, it's a real delight to be here with Lori, and we are at Garden Fever. And Lori, today we're going to be talking about fragrance in the garden, and there's a lot of stuff that is fragrant, but we're really going to be concentrating on the herbs.
The herbal stuff. And actually, when I say herbal, I'm talking about foliage.
Yeah.
And people always think about blooming flowers. Right now, everybody's going nuts with the Daphne Adora, the late winter, early spring blooming. Viburnums will be blooming and stuff like that. But
which are all lovely.
Which are fabulous. But that lasts this season, and we want something that will carry through and go all the way through frost, actually. And so I wanted to talk about some herbs. Some of these herbs, people will go, oh my gosh, I can't put that in my garden. It's going to go crazy, like the mints.
Certainly, yeah.
But if you, for instance, think about the experience of walking through a garden, or if you don't have a big garden, you don't have to have a big garden. Your back door, you have pots that you pass every day.
Sure.
And so if you have a big pot of mint, you can brush by that every day, and you smell it as you're going in the house. So at the end of the day, you know, you're all stressed out, and you know, it's therapeutic. It's aromatherapy.
Don't you find that every time you walk through a garden, we just naturally, instinctively want to touch that, and then that fragrance is released.
And I really think part of the experience is the actual touch.
Yeah.
And then it goes into the scent. And sometimes when you're walking through, you don't know what you're smelling.
That's true. Then you're looking around.
The mints are, there's all kinds of mints. Ginger mint, Moroccan mint, orange mint. There's an apple mint that I don't have here. They all have slightly different fragrances, and they have slightly different textures. And actually, sampling mints would be more like sampling fine wines.
Sure.
You line up all the leaves and you kind of go, oh, I can see the difference. You know, it's all a little minty, but some are spicy. All of them are great, of course, in cold drinks and cocktails and teas and all like that. But also, during the summer, this is going to be solid green foliage that's got a lot of texture and scent, and then it's going to bloom later on in the summer.
So with the aggressiveness of mints, would you suggest then like a container?
I think a container would be great, and I think a good sized container would be best, because the bigger it is, the less you have to water.
Yeah, certainly.
And I would even take a big container, not just by your back door, but I'd set it right on the path or right in the bed.
In the garden itself.
Yeah,
exactly.
I love
that.
And then you've got it contained.
So let's talk about some of these other ones behind the mints.
Well, some of these other guys, you know, these are all things I think many gardeners are familiar with. This is Corsican mint. These would be things that you would do in the path. Corsican mint, this is an oregano called aurea, and it gets this brighter golden color the more it's in the sun. And it's nice and matte, so it will hold up. And then we've got Thymus minus, which just means a teeny tiny thyme.
I love Thymus anyway, especially when you can actually step on it and that smell, it's lovely.
And there's other times that, you know, this one blooms pink during the summer. And then rosemaries, you know, we think of them for just culinary, but if you take a rosemary that's a trailing one, like this one is Blue Lagoon, you can actually do that along your path. And as you're walking again, you're going to brush it with your leg or something. And you could also pinch it and use it in culinary.
And still use it for cooking.
Yeah.
And of course, then you have a beautiful gallon lavender down there, and those are wonderful.
Those are obvious. Everybody thinks of scent when they think of lavenders, but again, they think of the flower, but the foliage. And this is a Spanish lavender. This one's called hazel. A Spanish lavender has a very soft touch.
So it does.
It's the sense of touch, and it's the sense of the foliage smell. It's beautiful.
They really are glorious. And you know, there's the wonderful thing about gardens is there's so many things that you can always find out new. You can add more stuff to your garden. We can't think of a better place to ask you to come and visit than Garden Fever, and Lori and her great staff pick out some fragrance that'll work for you in your own garden. Lori, thank you so much, dear.
Thanks for coming.